Alrighty. Should be live on my radar. Alright, guys. Here's an update video or stream of the United States. We do have some thunderstorms going on over here in Louisiana as a trough moves over and a stationary front moves over. This should cause just some general thunderstorms over here near Alexandria. And we do have a little bit of a rain system over here causing some thunderstorms over here in Ohio and Pennsylvania. That's going to stick around for a bit. And take a better look at that. We do have some thunderstorms going on, a couple of thunders. A couple of claps of thunder going on over there, but this should eventually go down in intensity. Of course, we do have these storms over here once again moving in near Alexandria. A cloud cover right now. Here is the national cloud cover. Once again, we do have some clouds going over here near Cleveland because of that system. It does look like we do have just a bit of a clearing opening up over there in the south. Looking into the future, there is a severe weather threat. If I go over here. Over here, and if I do SPC outlooks, here's our severe weather risk for today. 2 slight risks. A little bit of a tornado risk as well. So over here in the northern plains, when it start going on around by 7 p.m., we will have some supercells, or at least some cells, start to initiate / form over here. This will continue to go on throughout the night. What we are really watching for is in the central United States. Once again, around the nighttime hours, we will have some supercells starting to initiate over here, the Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle, southern Kansas. This will continue to go on. This is going to bring our tornado risk over here. Later in the day to the early morning hours, we should have a bit of a broken up line over here going on. This will cause a wind threat. Some cells back here. This will not really cause too much of an issue, but we may have either a bow echo or a semi-discrete supercell. This is going to probably cause some problems over here later in the morning hours. Now, around when these storms initiate, we do have some significant tornado parameters. We possibly will be seeing some tornadoes near the Texas Panhandle, the northern Texas. Over here in Texas, when we go, now once we go into the timing on this, we will have just a little. We will not have a lot of a low level jet. Which is why we are at 2. But we will later on, once into night, early morning hours, the tornadic threat may spark up just a bit because you will have 2 areas of where storms can interact with a low level jet. So we will have to watch out for that. As we look into the future, we will have some ridging going on. So we will have some ridge, which means we will have it looks like we will have a good long area of high pressure going on. But this will kind of cause some moisture to get up in Texas. Okay, this is why it may get just a bit windy in Texas with some good weather. Now you will have another kind of dip in the jet stream over there. But we will have a huge dip in the jet stream over here, a huge disturbance. During in the Ohio Valley. Now, with that huge dip, we are not really expecting anything severe. Otherwise, there will be some weather going on. Then the ridging just keeps continuing. Then it does look like we may have around, it looks like May 30th, 11 p.m., and probably throughout the day, May 30th. It looks like you have like a little bit of a negatively tilted trough, which means we are pulling in some moisture from the Pacific. Not really, but we are not really pulling in moisture from the Gulf. Now, if you look at K index, it does look like when we do have that, we will have some weather going on. We will have some. Because if we took our lightning flashes, it looks like we may have some severe weather over here in the south. I do think that may stay severe, but if you look where our jet streak is, kind of get this a little bit. So it's not showing a lot, but do you see some little bolts of lightning? I do think that this, like over here, this could turn into something severe. We may have to watch out for that, or at least some strong thunderstorms. Because of that jet stream and it kind of it being a little bit of a negative tilted. This will soon leave. And it looks like we may have a prolonged period of ridging. National United States. Severe weather. Now let's if we look over here. We may have to watch on Thursday. We do have potentially a lot of lightning index over here, New North in South Dakota. What's that? That's 624 0Z. Now, if we stay there and look at the 500. Now, when this that lightning index shows that lightning and those thunderstorms, we really will not have so much of a low level jet, but we will have but there will be some of it. So mainly, I am concerned with these storms over here. The storms that kind of interact over here, especially over here, is where I might be just a bit concerned for the tornado risk. But other than that, if you look at the United States, a huge ridge of good, really good areas. Once again, but we will have some severe weather down over here in the southern plains. And it does look like a few spots in the southern plains, there may be just a small bit of a tornado risk. Now this low level Now the jet streak does increase over there later in the night. Now if I do. Now this is where it gets kind of weird, because if we look at later in the night, it does show some lightning index, even some strong lightning index. And this is where we will see that the level jet increase. This is where I do think that Thursday we may potentially see 2 areas of severe weather. We'll definitely have some severe weather once again going on here in the southern Great Plains in Texas. But it does look like we will have another mode of severe weather going on, because we do have a bit of a low level jet going on. So a jet streak going on, and you can probably infer there is going to be a low level jet. So 2 areas we're focusing on. For the northern one, I am concerned about that, for potentially some tornadoes going on, because that is a strengthening low level jet. So once again, if we actually look at precipitation type, it looks like we will see a little bit some lines and some discrete supercells going on in the beginning stages. But if we look at the late stages, it does look like we will not have as much storm coverage when the low level jet hit, but looks like there will be definitely some storms going on. It looks like this may be a linear problem, possibly. But it does show possibly some cells going on, so we may have to deal with that. If you look at the dew points, the dew points, they won't be great, but we will get areas like 61 and 64 over there, so the dew points not really will be there, but some of them will be there in the moisture return. But it does look like the main threat for severe weather Thursday will be Texas, as we do have a lot of parameters. But for tornado-wise, we may be talking about mostly in North Dakota, just a little bit. And maybe even South Dakota. I think South Dakota may have a bit more of a threat than Northern Dakota, actually. The thing about day 2 is that we do have that severe weather risk. We have a marginal risk for severe weather. And we also do have that 2% tornado risk. I would not be surprised. I have not looked at this yet, so I would not be surprised with this 2% tornado risk if there is a chance that, well, either A, that this tornado risk kind of gets a bit so either A, this tornado risk kind of goes away, it gets removed right there, which I do think that this 2% is correct, but I would not be surprised if we get potentially like a 5% risk for tornadoes over here. I would not be surprised if we do get a 5% chance. Now, if we do look at the, actually, I don't even know if this is on there. If we look at the energy levels, Thursday, the energy levels. The thing that we're lacking is the energy levels on Thursday. Because we may get something as high as, like, 1,500 joules, but we will have a lot of energy down here. But I do think if we do get like a lightning in the bottle, if we do get either it takes up all the energy that it can over there, it takes up a level jet, if a supercell takes up as much energy as it can over there, takes up the level jet, and just takes the lapse rate parameter, I do think that we possibly could see a tornado there, but I do think that it could be up to 5%. I would not be surprised if we do get a 5%. But we may not. So tomorrow there is, for the South Dakota area, there is a marginal risk for some excessive rainfall, but really the excessive rainfall will be at slight risk at 15%. So by the end of the week, it does look like this will be mostly a Texas, and once again, really a Great Plains event. It does look this will be a Great Plains event. We will have possibly like a flooding risk, potentially, or it could be some areas isolated over here. Does look like this will be definitely a lot of flooding risks over here in like Oklahoma, but mainly Texas. This is where like the bullseye is. But also over here in Canada, Washington, Seattle area, Oregon, we could also be talking about the potential for some flooding.